888-971 SAGE 888-971-7243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Later on next hour, we're talking about an exchange between Senator Tom Cotton and a nominee for an assistant DOJ position. She has written in the past that everybody has implicit racism. So we asked her about her implicit racism. She didn't have very many examples. That'll be later on. My guest has written a book called COVID-19, A Physician's Take on the Exaggerated Fear of the Coronavirus. It's on paperback, and you can go to rxforliberty.com to get it, rxforliberty.com. My guest is Dr. Jeffrey Barke. Doctor, I was talking to you about spring break. As you know, kids go down to Florida for spring break every year, and I'm watching CNN and MSNBC Hee-Haw, and some of the hosts and some of the guests are going absolutely crazy over the idea that these kids are going to likely cause a spike up in coronavirus, and there's a variant that we are not aware of, and we don't know how it's going to affect it. It may be more contagious. It may be more deadly. We just don't know. So they're very, very fearful about all these young kids going down to Florida during spring break. Your take on that?
Well, of course they're fearful. That's how they live their life, in fear. Mm-hmm. What they should know is that kids are at very low risk of COVID-19. If they do get it, they typically have mild or no symptoms at all. There's little risk that asymptomatic kids, or anybody for that matter, spreads the disease. So I really don't have much concerns. They're going to do what they're going to do in Florida. The governor of Florida, I think, has done the best job in the country at managing this disease. Their economy is now wide open. They're doing great. So I think he should be applauded for the excellent work that he's done, and I don't have much fear about what the kids are going to be involved in. Listen, kids are back to school in some areas, and we don't see any spike in the kids as they gather on the playground and they're in the classrooms and so forth. So I'm really not worried. I think they should go have fun in the sun in Florida and not live their lives in fear.
Dr. Gavin Newsom's kids have been doing okay with their in-school private learning somehow, some way. Dale is in Detroit, Michigan. Dale, you're on with Dr. Jeffrey Barke and Larry.
Hi, great talking with you. I got a couple questions. My first one is, can this vaccine be technically called a vaccine if they're saying that it doesn't actually create immunity, but only reduces your symptoms if you were to get it? My second question has to do with whether or not that you have studied any cases of autoimmune encephalitis with vaccines or other molecular mimicry issues with.
Doctor, do you have his two questions, Doctor?
Yeah, I got it. Great questions, Dale. The issue of is it a vaccine or is it a therapeutic is one that people are arguing about. I think technically speaking, there's an argument that says this doesn't work like a traditional vaccine. It might be more correct to call it a therapeutic. I mean, we can quibble about that, but what's important is for people to understand that this vaccine was developed in rapid speed, and I give President Trump a lot of credit for that. It is a novel vaccine. We haven't used messenger RNA technology before, although the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is different than that. And all of them have limited safety data, and they all are considered investigational. So I think if you're in a high-risk group, it makes sense to consider it. If you're in a low-risk group, like children, for example, I would take a pass on it for now until we have more time to prove its safety. Why would we give a vaccine to a child that has almost no risk of COVID-19 using an investigational vaccine with brand new technology? It makes no sense to me to do that. The other question is vaccine side effects. If you go to the website VAERS, Vaccine Adverse Reporting System, Vaccine Adverse Reporting System, VAERS. This is a website run by the CDC and the FDA where side effects are reported to this site. As of last counting, I looked at it last March 5th, we've had over 1,500 deaths associated with the vaccine. No, I'm not saying causation. It is correlation, and they need to be investigated, and thousands of hospitalizations and all kinds of side effects associated with it. So like all vaccines, there's the potential for risk and side effects and injury. That needs to be weighed very carefully when you make a decision to get the vaccine, along with the benefits versus the risk, like we do with every medical procedure.
Dr. Jeff Barke, do not go away. Stick around, 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. Dr. Jeffrey Barke and I are taking your phone calls, particularly about the coronavirus vaccine. If you have been vaccinated, exactly what kind of protection does it give you? Can you get the coronavirus again? And what about the coronavirus variants? We haven't talked to Dr. Barke about those. So, Dr. Barke, please stick around. Also, Charles in Flint, Michigan has a question for you. Charles, do not leave town. You know how the Larry Elder Show works.